Madam President, I come to the floor today with a great sense of urgency. We are less than 1 week away from reaching our debt limit. If we fail and we falter, the United States of America will be irrevocably fractured. We aren't at an impasse. We're at the edge of a cliff. Unless Congress acts, we're going to go over it. And what will be the consequences of it? If we do not meet our obligations to pay our debts, it will result in a default, and default will result in enormous increase in interest rates. For all of America that's so worried about tax increases, I got to send a real red alert when interest rates go sky high. Because of our failure to act, it will be the biggest tax on America that we could have. And it'll be a tax at the kitchen table. It means if you have a variable rate mortgage, it will skyrocket. If you have a student loan, that interest is going to increase. And if you have a car loan, forget it. The payments are going to be enormous. So we need to face what this means. Raising the debt limit, we need to prevent the default so that our bond rating is not lowered. Now, I've never been big on talking about bond ratings, but this is really a crucial one. We now have a AAA bond rating. So what does that mean? It means when they buy our Treasury bills or other government-secured benefits, but particularly our T-bills, it is as good as gold. Well, now, if we're downgraded, we could just be a tin horn, tin cup nation. This is not the United States of America. This is not what people fought and died for. When people say they represent a party that wants to defend the Constitution, we all have to defend the Constitution. And right now, defending the Constitution and defending America is to lift our debt ceiling and get work to the hard work of, number one, dealing with our debt, but also dealing with another issue of job growth. So we've got to get to work. Instead, we are busy at work playing the blame game. Squabble is not a solution. But I believe we Democrats do have a solution. And I think the solution does lie in the Reid proposal. The Reid proposal, before that the senator from Nevada, the majority leader, has offered, is substantive, it's real, and it's achievable. Madam President, I was on TV yesterday, and they said, oh, you're a liberal Democrat. Well, I don't know if I'm a liberal, I don't know if I'm a conservative, but I'll tell you what I am. I'm a diner Democrat. I think about the people. I think about the ordinary people, and I think about their day-to-day needs. And when people talk about what kind of solutions they mean, and they want everything on the table, what I want on the table is the things that affect the kitchen table. And that's why I support the Reid proposal. It is an achievable framework for avoiding default now and downgrade of our bond rating now. What does it do? It has three important elements. One, timing to take us through 2012. It's not about the next election. It's showing that we are serious and we're substantive. Second, it has really important content where we really do cut federal spending, and it's observable, and it's quantifiable, and it's verifiable. And number three, it gives us a path forward to deal with the important issues of entitlement and revenue reform. Wow. So why can't they take it? I am really puzzled about why they can't take it. It's 2012, okay? Who knows who's going to be in control of either the White House or the Congress then? So, but it can't be about us. It's not about me. It's about we the people. Second, let's go to the content. There are substantial cuts there in discretionary spending, defense spending that does not affect readiness or military health care, and it got rid of earmarks. We got rid of earmarks a long time ago. And there were actually cuts that the House voted for in the Ryan budget. So a few weeks ago, they said yes to the cuts, but when we say yes to the cuts, they say no to the proposal. I don't get it. But most of all, it's not whether I get it. It's that we have to make sure that we get a solution. What I think is important about the Reid proposal is it's $2.7 trillion in cuts. Now, I understand CBO has scored it, and they say it's 2.2. Well, 2.2, 2.7, that's real money. That is real money. And it shows that we're serious. It also provides this important path forward called a joint committee. Now, it is not a commission where it's going to be outsiders who are experts from think tank environments and hoo-ha, hoo-ha. What it is members of Congress, both sides of the aisle, both sides of the dome. Let's get it together with them, and then let's have this committee where we then move forward on the reform of revenue as well as looking at looking at entitlement reform. I want to be clear that if in fact, the horror of all horrors become when we fracture the standing of the United States of America, not only in the financial markets, but in the standing of the world, it will have very serious consequences. First of all, to benefits. The president is going to have to pay the bills based on whatever money's coming in. He won't be able to borrow. America won't be able to borrow. So our T-bill will not have the same value that it once did. He's going to have to pay our bills. So what are the benefits? Well, one is paychecks. The first paycheck that he's going to meet is the paycheck to our troops. He's got to make sure that if they're fighting to defend America while we're squabbling around and screwing around, we're going to pay our troops. My God, did it ever occur to anyone that our troops wouldn't get paid? Yeah, it's going to be tight. So we pay the troops. We're going to certainly pay our veterans benefits. They might not be in the same amount the first month, but we'll kind of squeak through. It will be Social Security. Well, maybe the checks will go out, but maybe it'll only be in half the amount. But the Social Security offices will be closed. So benefits will have a direct impact. Where is he going to slow down the trickle of money? To state and local governments. So what does that mean? Community development block grant money, education, and so on. That's going to really cause enormous layoffs at the state and local level of public employees, but also the contractors, that asphalt contractor, that person who handles the office machinery and so on. All that small business they love to romanticize over. Minority contractors. We're going to have a big impact. And then it takes us to the government will definitely slow down or not pay at all contractors, whether it's the big defense guys that employ thousands and thousands of people, or is it not going to pay the small to medium-sized business, like in my own state, that does information technology. Now, we are about to destroy the reputation and solvency of the United States of America. We are about to destroy the reputation and solvency of the United States of America, not only for one day, but for a decade and maybe the rest of the century. And this is not being done by an outside power. We're spending $700 billion on defense, and we're destroying ourselves by a self-inflicted wound because of political dysfunction, political rigidity, and political ideology. What the heck is this? And I could even use more intense language. Looks at what we are about to do. We cannot allow this to happen. So I say to my colleagues, look, one of my colleagues said to me yesterday, Senator Mikulski, what would it take to get you to the table? I said, give me a plan and 30 Republican names behind it. I'll see if I can support the plan and get 30 others. So, Madam President, I know my time's up, but I don't want the time to be up on America. Let's come together. Let's stop being Democrats. Let's stop being Republicans. Let's really say, call us what we should be called, an American. And what do Americans do? When the times are tough, the tough get going. Let's get going. Let's make the tough decisions. Let's put politics aside, put America #1, and get us back on track.